Hello everyone, it's Belladonna, and the lazy puppy known as Weeps. If you've watched any of my videos so far, and you watch any others, you will notice that I have a very, diverse range of taste. That's one word for it. It's like if you watch Frasier and he tells his father what his decorating style is, it's eclectic, instead of, junk. I have a certain style that lends toward the gothic and the industrial and the new wave music and all that good stuff. And that's totally cool. Love all of those things to death, let me tell you. Really, a diverse palette is not schizophrenic. At least I don't think it is. I'll have to ask the others. It really is just showing that you have many interests. And I urge you all to try some of these other types of music if you're not really familiar with them. I don't often buy a lot of 45 records, a lot of times because I don't see a whole lot of them. And this is, I'm not 100% sure how you pronounce his first name. It looks like Crispian, even though you think of like Crispin Glover, it's not spelled the same. Crispian St. Peter's. We're going to Crispian because it sounds fun. Crispian, like a cereal. Crispian St. Peter's, this song, The Pied Piper. Again, there's no artwork here, it's just a few dollars I paid for this. Crispian St. Peter's, The Pied Piper. Come on, babe, follow me. I'm the Pied Piper, and I'll show you where it's at. I love the era of music that produced these types of songs. This sort of thing, this was just fun music, I think. Crispian St. Peter's, up against it. The Pied Piper. Come on, babe, follow me. I'm the Pied Piper, and I'll show you where it's at. Where is it, Mr. St. Peter's? So, speaking of this sort of thing, sandwiched in between the Beatles and the 70s was another band. This is the Monkees, baby. Hey, hey, we're the Monkees. People say we monkey around. And if you look on the back here, meet the Monkees. Davy, Peter, Mickey, Mike. Who's your favorite? I always liked Mickey, of course, because he's funny. But I love Mike because he's just he's the straight man, he's so interesting with his little wool cap. This is one of those things where, like, if you ever watched the old TV show from the 60s, it's hard not to like it. It's ridiculous and stupid. It's a parody of the Beatles. These are people that were hired as actors, sort of musicians, put together to make this boy band of sorts. But, I mean, they're just cool, alright? They're just a lot of fun. And they had a really great, cool way about them. They were sort of just having fun all the time, making cool music. And I found these again in that sort of $3 for $5 bin. So again, they're not like expensive, fancy ones. This one's got tape all over it, you can see. But you've got some of the great songs here. The theme from the Monkees. Here we come, walking down the street. Saturday's Child, Tomorrow's Gonna Be Another Day. Papa Jean's Blues, I love that one. Awesome songs that I think hold up today, in my opinion. But, if you're gonna buy me a dog, she loves that one. That's Weepsy's favorite. Gonna buy me a dog, because I need a friend now. Gonna buy me a dog. Yeah, yeah. Boop, boop, shabop, bop, rama, lama. Just listen to it, you'll know what I mean. But the Monkees are really cool, and they're still fun to this day. Watching the old show, listening to the music, and I picked up a few things that I'd always wanted, but sometimes I'd see nice copies and they were a little too much. So the headquarters, Monkees headquarters here, another really cool thing here. Look how young they are there. God, they just look so cool. And when you watch all the different things about them, they had their ups and downs and their bad things and their turmoils and whatnot. And I believe they had some falling out here and there and whatnot, but they were just cool. And guess what? More of the Monkees. I got all of these for $5. $5. The Phenomenal Monkees, it says on here. You've got a lot of great stuff on here. Apparently Amelia owned this record. I don't, alright, here's the thing. I don't know. Because I wasn't there. I think in the day, from anywhere from like the 50s to the 80s, when people really bought record albums all the time, what's the deal with putting your name all over them? I mean, were people stealing records from like your house? Were you carrying records around all the time? I guess, it's not like nowadays, of course, we just pull something up on the YouTube. But were you taking records everywhere? And were people, this is Amelia's record, don't you dare walk off with it. You see them, I see so many used records with a freaking name on them. And it's like, Was there a problem with record theft? I mean, they're not very portable. I suppose you could take them around to parties or whatever, but were your siblings stealing them? If anybody's around from that era, those various periods of time, and you wrote your name on records, please tell me why. Is it just like to say, like, hey, I'm cool and I've got this record? Because you see a lot of it. Like, I've seen ones with full addresses on them. I may have picked one up the other day. I don't know, I'm rambling, but I never really... Record theft. It's a real thing. Alright, so this is one of those records that I paid a lot more for this. I could not pass this up. I could not. This is Sir John Gielgud's Hamlet with Richard Burton. Little damage on the top here, otherwise it's like pristine. I almost let it go because it was more expensive, but even the lady at the shop was like, commenting on how lucky of a find this was, to find it in such good shape. These ones don't even look touched. 1964 this is. Holy crap in a bucket. Inside is this booklet. Hamlet, my personal favorite. And it's got all of this stuff in here. It's got all of these images and whatnot. I mean, there he is. Sir John Gielgud. And like I say, I think this is one of those things. Oh, here it is, Mr. Richard Burton. We talked of 1984. I believe this was his last film, or his last big film. He was in that, and he was still amazing. He had lots of issues, Elizabeth Taylor being one of them. But the most minimalistic, and yet perhaps the most proper Hamlet. If you've never seen parts of this performance, look up Richard Burton's performance as, Alright, does anybody know who Hume Cronin is, if I say the name? Hume Cronin here was one of the old dudes. I just upset Weepsy, I got her note. One of the old dudes in the Cocoon movies. But anyway, this is really, really, really cool. I was so excited to find this. Now, this is not music, of course. This is an actual cast doing Hamlet. Look, I understand it's not for everybody, Shakespeare, and everybody wants modernizations and reinterpretations and weird movies with Leonardo DiCaprio. And no offense to Leo, but I'm not a fan of like the Romeo and Juliet of that. It doesn't make sense to me. Very purist about my Shakespeare. But even this is very different than Shakespeare was ever really done. This is the way I think Hamlet should sound. Go and look this up and listen for yourself. Watch the performance if you can, if it's on there. So it's not just music, you've got to diversify your palette with all sorts of things. She's making those noises, if you can hear her over there snorting, because she's wanting a treat, I believe. Alright, I'm going to go and give Madam Weeps a little treat, because she's a big baby. So I will sign off for her. Thank you all for coming, and I shall return soon.